something terrible wrong, going in the wrong direction, inauspicious, then there will be no traffic on the freeway. So today we're beginning our discussion of Vrindavan, Amrita, nectar of Vrindavan. So the subject this evening is the Dham Tattva. What is the Dham? Dhamna Swarina Sada Nirastako Akam Satyam Param Dhimahi. The Parama Satya, the Supreme Truth. That is, Sri Radha and Krishna. They're always playing. So, Dhamna Swarina in their own transcendental abode. The definition of the word Dham, Griha, Deha, Twit Prabhava, Dhamma Nitya, Amaraha. In the Amar Kosh, according to the Amar Kosh Sanskrit dictionary, the word Dham means four things. Griha, the home, the place where someone lives. So Vrindavan Dham is Sri Krishna's Griha, is his living place. Sri Krishna himself has said, Tasman matcharam gostam mannatam matparigraham. I live in the shelter of this village, and these devotees, they are my everything, my paran, matparigraham, and they are my family members. So that place that the Supreme Absolute Truth calls home, that is Vrindavan Dham. Dham means Deha, body. It is as dear to Sri Krishna as his own Swarup. In fact, it is a Tadrupa Vaibhava. It is a manifestation of the mystical opulences of his own Swarup. None different from him. Everyone knows, Abhinatvam Nama Namino. But Abhinatvam Dhama Dhamino. Also, there's no difference. There's no difference between Krishna and his name. There's no Krishnas between Dham and Dhami. The holy Dham and the persons whose Dham it is. So, I'm trying to dislocate any conception from your mind of thinking that Vrindavan is some kind of geographical place which is distinct from God himself. Because Krishna Nam, Rup, Gun, Parikar, Lila and Dham, they're all the one non-dual, Advaya Gyan Tattva, non-dual reality. Vedanti Tat Tattvavidas Tattvam Yat Gyanam Advayam Brahmaiti Paramatvaiti Bhavaneti Shaptite. Sutta Goswami Pad very humbly, not claiming to know the truth, he said, Vedanti, those who know the truth, they say that it is one non-dual reality, but is called by three names. If someone looks at that truth with the Nirnimesh Darshan, that means staring without blinking, like a yogi, not blinking the eyes, then what happens? Everything becomes blurry and disappears. So that is Brahman. Nirnimesh, unblinking darshan, that is Brahman. But Bhagavan, that is Kataksha darshan, not looking with unblinking eyes, but looking Kataksh from the corner of the eye. So, this Vrindavan is the Deha, the body of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna himself has said, Jamuna Devi, Jamuna river is my Shashumna Nadi. You know, in your body you have so many nadis. So Nadi also means river. So Shashumna Nadi is your main Nadi. Without this you cannot live. So Krishna said, Jamuna, this river Jamuna that flows through Vrindavan is my Shashumna Nadi. Griha Deya Twit. Twit means effulgence. Vrindavan is the aura emanating from the Swarup of Radha and Krishna. Prabhava. Prabhava means power or influence. Without this Vrindavan Dham, Radha Krishna, they cannot experience rasa. You know, Krishna went to Kurukshetra. Radhika also went to Kurukshetra. So Radha Krishna were meeting there, but rasa was not manifesting as before. Why? No Vrindavan. So Vrindavan is so glorious. This Dham has three main features. Prakat Prakash, Aprakat Prakash, and Drishyaman Prakash. Prakat Prakash means when Sri Krishna appears in this world, once in a day of Lord Brahma, to perform his pastimes, he comes with all of his associates and his Dham, Jamuna Devi, Vrinda Devi, Giraj Govardhan. And so at that time, when Krishna is manifest in this world, along with his divine realm, that is called Prakat Prakash, the manifest display of the Dham. Then Aprakat Prakash. Aprakat Prakash means when Sri Krishna completes his pastimes in this world and becomes Aprakat, unmanifest, then he is no longer visible to the senses of ordinary persons in this world. Then when Sri Krishna disappears, his Dham also disappears. And then that Dham, which is not visible to the general persons, but only visible in the Samadhi, in the trance of the pure Vaishnavas, then that is called the Aprakat Prakash. Then there is Drishyaman Prakash. Drishyaman Prakash means the Dham now or any time after Sri Krishna's Lila becomes Aprakat, unmanifest. So what you see in that same geographical location where Krishna's Lila was visible in this world, then that is called the Drishyaman Prakash. So these are three manifestations of the Dham. In Brahma Samhita, there it is said, Goloka namni nijadamni tale sutasya devi maheshari dam shuteshu teshu te prabhava nichaya vihitaschayena govindamari purusham tamaham bhajami. There is Devi Dham. Devi Dham means the world manifest by Durga, the material energy. And that is where this earth is situated. And there are 14 planetary systems. So below the earth, there are so many planetary systems. Sutalata, Vetal, Rasata, Patal. And above, also, Bhurabhuva, Swaha, Mahalok, Tapalok, Mahalok, Janalok, Tapalok, Satyalok. So 14 planetary systems in all. And we're in the middle, somewhere. One has to be very, very much purified to go to the higher planets, especially to Brahmalok. And beyond Brahmalok, there are the coverings of the universe. And then comes Maheshtam, the abode of Lord Shiva. And beyond the abode of Lord Shiva, Haridham. So Devi, Mahesha, Haridham, Shuteshu, Teshu, Vaikuntha. And there are so many unlimited Vaikuntha planets. And beyond all the Vaikuntha planets, in the highest realm of existence, there is Golok, the Golok planet. So this place is extremely high, extremely rare, extremely inaccessible. It cannot be understood by worldly argumentative logic or by the very limited human senses. So the question comes, how can we access such a high and inaccessible place? That Dham in the transcendental realm and the Braja Dham, which is manifest here in this world during Krishna's pastimes, they're not two places, it's the same place. can we access that? It's very popular to visit holy places, to go to holy tirthas, to go on parikramas. So Sri Krishna himself, he gave the example. How to receive benefit from visiting a holy place. So, but you know, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it's described at the time of the solar eclipse, Sri Krishna from Dwarka came with his whole retinue of royal family and generals and armies, and came to pass that inauspicious moment under the protection of the main holy dham during that yuga, Dwarpa Yuga, and that is Kurukshetra. So there at Kurukshetra, all the rishis from all over the universe, Narad, Vyas, Gautam, Bharadwaj, Javadarni, all the rishis, they assembled there. So when, even though Sri Krishna was a prince from a royal family, when all the rishis arrived there, then Sri Krishna and all his retinue stood up with folded hands and gave pranam. And they worshipped those rishis, the sages. They washed their feet, they gave them water to drink, offered them a respectable seat, decorated them with garlands and with sandalwood paste. And then Sri Krishna, with folded hands, he began to speak sweet words to those rishis. He said, O Rishigan, Maharishigan, Deva Rishi, now our lives are successful. We obtained the ultimate goal of our life because we have your darshan. Then Sri Krishna spoke a very famous verse. Yasyatma buddhi kunapai tridatuke swati kalatradishi boma ijadi yat tirta buddhi shalanela kahichat janesha bigeshu sa eva gokara. If a person, yasatma buddhi kunapai tridatuke, he thinks that this body, kunapa means corpse. This body is basically like a corpse. It's moving because there's some pran there. But when the Atma leaves along with the pran, then you have a corpse. So this body is like a corpse. To dhatuke, and functioning because of mucus, bile and air, 3 dhatus. So if a person, yasyatma buddhi kunapai to dhatuke, thinks that this body is the self, then saeva gokara. This person is like a donkey. Yasyatma buddhi kunapai to dhatuke. So how can such person get benefit from a holy tirtha? Swadita kalatari shuboma ijadi. They think that the other corpses connected, which have some relation with this corpse, this is their permanent relationships. But these are all temporary. Boma ijadi. They think the place where they are born is worshipable. God bless America. Vive la France. So, this mentality of thinking, I am this body, what is related to me is mine. So such persons, they also visit the holy places. But yet, Tirtha Buddhi Shalilena Kahijit, they think the water here is the spiritual substance. Now I have come to the holy place. I'll take bath here in this Tirtha. But Janesha Vigeshu Saeva Gopakara. If they go there to the holy place, but they don't associate with the sadhus, abhigya, those who have realization of the transcendental nature of the Dham, then they can never touch, they can never experience the Dham. They wander around the Dham like donkeys or any other type of animal in ignorance. So this verse was spoken by Sri Krishna himself when he went to the main holy tirtha. Of course, Vrindavan is always the best tirtha, but because he's doing human pastimes, he's acting like Vrindavan is my home. I have to go to this big tirtha. Or from Dwarka, I have to go to Kurukshetra. By his human-like pastimes, he's going to a tirtha meeting with the rishis, worshipping them and praying to them very, very humbly. The rishis themselves, they have, many of those rishis, they have Aishwarya Gyan. They're thinking, oh, here is Bhagavan. And he's saying, I'm just like a donkey if I don't take shelter of you. So the rishis, they were stunned hearing Krishna's glorification of the power of Sadhu Sangha. But see, Krishna was setting an example for the whole world. And also relishing his own Naravat Lila, human-like pastimes. Because God's happiest moments is when he forgets that he's God. Because then he can really become lost in praying in love for his devotees. So not only Krishna has set the example, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. We see after the passing away of Jagannath Mishra, his most respectable father, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Gaya to perform the ceremonies there, to offer Pinda. And as if by chance, when he arrived in Gaya, there he saw Srila Ishwar Puripad. Mahaprabhu had, when he was younger, in Navadip Dham, had the darshan of Srila Ishwar Puripad before and heard Harikatha from him for several months. And he was very impressed. And now he met him in the Holy Dham. Then he wanted to accept Ishwar Puripad as his Gurudev. So when Mahaprabhu saw him there, Prabhu Boli, Gaya Tirtha Safala Amma, Yakshana Dekalana Charani Tomar. O Srila Ishwar Puripad, now my Tirtha Yatra, my Gaya Yatra, my visit to the holy place has become safal, completely successful. Why? It became successful the moment I had darshan of your lotus feet. So this is the main thing. We cannot see the holy Dham through our material senses, through our eyes. But we can see the Dham through the ears. So Prabhupada Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he said, when you go to the Vrindavan Dham, don't be like a tourist looking here and there and trying to see everything with your eyes. But rather, be under the shelter of a pure sadhu and give your full attention. Don't be distracted looking at the landscape. Give your full attention to every word and every activity of a pure Vaishnava and how they are relating with the transcendental Dham. By this, gradually hearing and serving on the parikrama, then the divine realm, which is Golokanamni Nijadam Nitale Chatasya Devi Mahesha Haridama Shuteshu, which is beyond all the planetary systems of this world and also beyond Vaikuntha. That realm will be self-disclosed to one's purified cognition. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a very beautiful song in Kalyana Kalparu. He said, Mana tumi tirte sadarata Ayodhya Mathura Mayo Kashi Kanchi Avantiyo Dwaravati Arayeche Joto. Oh my dear mind, you are so attached to visiting the places of pilgrimage such as Ayodhya, Mathura, Haridwar, Kashi, Kanchi, Avanti and Dwarka. Tuni chaha brahmi bore, shokala bore bore, mukti labha kari bore tahare, she shokala taba brahm, niratak parishram, chitastira tirtha nahi kare. You want to travel to all these holy places again and again, so you can get mukti, impersonal liberation. But it is clear that by all this moving around, your chitta is not becoming steady. It is not becoming fixed. Therefore, all your wandering here and there is just simply useless labor. Tirtha pala sadhu sangha, sadhu sange antaranga, Sri Krishna bhajana manoha, Yata sadhu tata tirta, sthirkari nija chitta, sadhu sangha kare niranta. Tirthapala sadhu sangha, the fruit of going to the holy tirtha, is a sadhu sangha. The association of realized Vaishnavas. Sadhu Sangha Antaranga Sri Krishna Bhajana Manohar. Why? Because by this one can attain the platform of Manohar Krishna Bhajan. Internal services to Krishna, which is so charming, so enchanting. So Jata Sadhu Tata Tirtha, where there is a pure Vaishnava, that place is a Tirtha. So make your chitta steady and try to associate continuously, nirantar, without interruption, associate with the sadhu. Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu means sadnoti sadhayati iti sadhu. That person who's doing sadhan, that by which bhav is manifest in the heart, and who causes us to do sadhana also, who refines our conception and engages us, clarifies our misconceptions so that we can enter into actual sadhana as well. That's called sadhu. And sangha, sangha means samyak rupain anugaman. Some completely anugaman, to follow. Not to follow superficially, but to follow outwardly according to one's capacity, and to follow inwardly also, according to one's level of realization. Ye tirte Vaishnavane, se tirtiti nahiye, kila bhanti aduradesh, yatai Vaishnavagan, sehistana Vrindavan, sehistani ananda ashish. I never visit any so-called place of pilgrimage that is devoid of the presence of pure saints. What's the benefit of walking to such distant places? But wherever there is a pure Vaishnava, that place is Vrindavan. Why? Because Vrindavan is Krishna's playing place. Tomara ridoye sada Govinda visam, Govinda kohena mama Vaishnava param. Vrindavan is Krishna's playing place, and see, Krishna is always playing in the heart of his sadhu. So Vrindavan is there, and we can see it by hearing. So Jatai Vaishnava Gan Seistan Vrindavan, that wherever there's a pure Vaishnava, that place is Vrindavan. Seistani Ananda Ashesh, and in that place one can find the endless, unlimited spiritual joy. Krishna Bhakti ye stani mukti dasi sekoni salila tatai mandakini giritata govardhan bhumitata Vrindavan avibhuta apanil hadini. Mukti Devi, the goddess of liberation personified, is the humble maidservant of any place where pure Vaishnavas reside and are engaged in pure bhajan. So in that place where pure bhakti is going on, then all the water flowing in that place is mandakini. That is one rivulet, one part of the flow of the Ganges. Mandakini, Alakananda, and Jalangi, Bhagirati. There are so many aspects of the Ganga. So all the water in that place where pure bhakti is going on is Mandakini. Giritata Govardhan. In that place where there is a pure Vaishnava, if there's a hill, that hill is Govardhan. And if there's a forest, then that forest is Vrindavan. Avirbhuta Apani Hladini. Only such a place can manifest the Hladini, spiritual joy. See, Krishna's internal potency, Sachidananda. So the Ananda Angsa is called Hladini Shakti, the pleasure potency. That which gives pleasure to Sri Krishna and which gives pleasure to his devotees is called Hladini Shakti. So in the association of pure Vaishnavas, by hearing, by serving, by taking remnant, by taking food dust and Charnamrita. Then by dadati pratigrinati guyamakati prititi bhunte bhojate chaiva, by 6 exchanges of affection. Why is this recommended by Rupa Goswami? Because by these things, the Hladini Shakti is transferred from the heart of the Vaishnava to the very humble and dedicated Sevak. Hladini Shakti, God's own pleasure potency. If anyone is touched by Hladini, then they have no attraction at all to any pleasures of the material world, so-called, which are related to the coarse. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur completes his song about the importance of sadhu sangha. Vinode kaichi bai brahmya ki palapai vaishnav se vanamora brahato. I ask you now, dear brother, what benefit will you get by circumambulating to all the holy places of pilgrimage? Personally, my vow is to serve the Vaishnavas with a firm resolution and untiring endeavor. So, in Braj Bhasha, this idea has been expressed also. Machi machar magane musibanda chor kanti dimaka jivaka jaga dasa vidhi gor jaga dasa vidhi go kyoki ji ban mein asan vasan vihamile na rahi na diraja man mein bhagat rasik ananga sang dustara sruti saki biharat sham sham yahan nahi macha marki. One Vaishnava poet has said in Braj Bhasha, if you go to Vrindavan, what will you find there? Machi, that means turtles. Macha, mosquitoes everywhere biting you. Magani, beggars. Hey, give it, 10 rupees, 10 rupees. Mose, banda chor, mice, monkeys, and of course, oh, where did my luggage go? Thieves. Oh, where's my passport? Mice, monkeys, thieves, turtles, rats, beggars, mosquitoes. Oh, Kante, Dimak Jivaka, don't forget to do barefoot parikrama, then you'll find thorns. Dimaka means termites. If you try to get a room in Vrindavan, and you go away, when you come back, your door has been eaten by termites. Jivaka, snakes. Jaga, Jaga Dasavedagor. Jaga means charlatans. On the street you will always find astrologers saying, I know you. I knew you were coming. Sit down. I will tell you your future. It's very bad. The only way you can save yourself from a disaster is to wear a ring with an emerald in it. I just don't have one right here. So many charlatans and people cheating everywhere. So Jagat Dasavidya Gaur. In Vrindavan you go there and there's all these just inconvenience, discomfort. Jagat Dasavidya Gaur. Bas kokya jabanne. So who can live there? Asam bahi behamile. It's very difficult to get some clothes and food. Nowadays it's easier because it's become somewhat urbanized, but then it was a forest, it was very difficult to get clothes and food there. So Rahinadi Rajamanme, by staying in Vrindavan, many disturbances come. How can I keep my patience? Who has lived in Vrindavan? Right? Is this a correct description of living in Vrindavan? Many trying circumstances come, many difficult tests come. Extremely difficult. So, what is the point of being there? Bhagat Ras Kanangasam, Dusta Suti Saki, Vihat Shavasam, Jahan, Lahima Chamaki. The Bhagat Rasiks, they say, there in Vrindavan is Sangha, the association of pure Vaishnavas. And if one will have this association, Dusta Suti Saki, all the Srutis, all the Vedas say that such high level of association is dustara, extremely, extremely rare. Brajrasic Vaishnavas are very, very, very rare. If one can have such association, this is a great fortune. And by that association, Beharata Sham Sham, by hearing, one's heart can enter into the realm where Sham Sham, Radha and Krishna are playing. And there, Jahan Nahima Chamaki, there are no charlatans, mosquitoes, termites, or any problems like that. No problems at all. So Sadhu Sangha, this is the most important ingredient if we want to take shelter of the Dham. Shukadeva Goswami has glorified the Brajadam in Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 10th canto he said, Mathura Bhagavan Yatta Nitya Sanhito Hari. That area which is called Mathura Manda, then Nityam Sanhito Hari. Krishna is always living there. So he spoke this when he was describing Krishna's appearance in this world. So he wasn't saying that, Krishna comes from the spiritual world and then he descends to this world. He said, Nityam Sanhito Hari. Krishna is always living there on his aprakat. And then he becomes prakat. So don't think Krishna, he comes from somewhere else and comes to Vrindavan, then he leaves. He's always in Vrindavan. Only sometimes visible, sometimes not visible to everyone. Thousands of years before, Sri Narad Muni, when he gave initiation to Dhruva Maharaj, then he told him, Punyam Madhu Banam Yatra Sanidhyam Nityada Hari. Hey Dhruva, you should go to Madhuvan, which is on the bank of the Jamuna in Braj Mandal. That is a very spiritually pious place. Punyam Madhu Banam Yatra Sanidhyam Nityada Hari. Only by going to that place Madhuvan, one becomes close to Hari. So there's a special prabhav. Remember, one of the meanings of Dham is prabhav. There's a stan prabhav. There's a very special power of doing bhajan in the holy Dham. But without sadhu sangha, one will not experience it. But in sadhu sangha, if you do bhajan in the Dham, then there is stan prabhav, and each place having its own mood and its own pastimes. This is why our Goswamis, they were going everywhere, sleeping under a different tree on different nights. Why? Because different pastimes are taking place under different trees. And so they were sleeping in the different places to experience and collect all these beautiful realizations. The Dham has been described in Brahma Samhita. Sahasra Patra Kamalam Gokulakyam Mahatpadam Tatkani Karata Dhamma Anantangsa Sambhavam. There is 1,000-petaled lotus flower. And in the middle of that, in the Karnikara, in the seed pod, that place is called Gokul. Gokulakyam Mahatpadam. And it is manifested Tad Anantangsa Sambhavam. Adanta means Balaram. Sri Krishna, his first expansion is Balaram. He is the Adhistatri Devata of Sandini Shakti, the potency of existence. So Ananta Angsa Sambhavam means Balaram Sandini Shakti has manifest all existence in the holy Dham, the playing place of the Supreme Lord. Now, you can see in the Brahma Samhita, two things are discussed. First, we quoted the verse Goloka Namni, describing Golok. Now we quoted another verse, Sahasrapatra Kamalam Gokulakyam Mahatpadam. And the Dham is called Gokul. So this is a very profound mystery. Golok and Gokul are not the same place. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad in his Lagu Bhagavatamrita, he has written, Yattu Goloka Nama Syat Tattu Gokula Vaibhavam. Tad Atma Vaibhavatyam cha tasya tan mahimon mate. The meaning is this, that place which is famous by the name of Golok is the Tadatma Vaibhava of Gokul. That means that just as Sri Krishna has Swayam Roop, his original form, which is the source of all Madhurya, all sweetness, and also all Aishwarya, all opulence, the source of everything. So Sri Krishna also has his Vaibhav Prakash, his expansions which manifest Vaibhav, opulences, like Vasudev in Mathura and Dwarka. So these are his Vaibhav Prakash, opulent expansions. So in the same way, Gokul is the original Dham of Sri Krishna. And it is also called Vrindavan or Braja. Braja, Vrindavan or Gokul. And that Gokul has its Vaibhav Prakash. Tadatma Vaibhavatyamcha Tasitam Mahimon Mate. Its opulent expansion. And that is called Golok. Now, the significance of this will become clear today, or if not clear today, tomorrow. The Golok planet has 4 dimensions. Srila Vishnacharya Thakur has written a commentary on Rupa Goswami's Lagu Bhagavatamrita called Bhagavatamrita Kana. And there he describes very clearly that highest planet, Golok, has 4 dimensions. The outer portion of that planet is called Golok. There is Aishwarya, mainly opulence. Krishna is there. Nanda Maharaj is there, Yashoda is there, the cows are there, the Jamuna is there, everything is there. But there is a mood of opulence. It is known that Krishna is God, the Vedas personified come and offer prayers to him. And there is a Swakiya mood, like Lakshmi Narayan in Vaikuntha, that Krishna and Radhika's relationship is completely legitimate, because she's his Shakti. And that's known. So, then, inside that Golok, more secret, is the realm which is called Dwarka. Dwarka is Madhurya Mishrit Aishwarya. That means it's basically opulence, but there's sweetness mixed in. And because of that mixture of more sweetness than Golok, it is considered to be a superior Dham than Golok. Then, within that is a more secret realm, and that is Mathura. That is Aishwarya Mishrit Madhurya. It is basically a sweet place, but with Aishwarya mixed in. Understand? So we're going from Aishwarya to the Madhurya Mishrit Aishwarya to Aishwarya Mishrit Madhurya, and then the innermost portion of that planet, the most secret place, that is Braj, Vrindavan or Gokul, that is Kevala Madhurya. Exclusive, unalloyed sweetness there. There, see Krishna, he plays like a boy. He doesn't know that he's God, what to speak of anyone else. And there is Parakya Rasa, that Krishna has fallen in love with Radhika, but unfortunately, she was already married to someone else. And so Krishna's pastimes with Radhika and all the gopis, they are very secret. So it is not against Dharma, because this Dharma only applies to this realm of conditioned souls. So that is only, it is not against Dharma, but it is a drama. It is a play for everyone to relish the excitement of the pastimes. So, therefore, Srila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami Pad said, Parakiya bhavi ati rasera alas, brajavina hiya anyatra nahivas. In this Parakiya bhav, tomorrow we'll be discussing why Parakiya bhav is the highest. It's very amazing. Why is this Parakiya bhav so superior to everything? It's really, really something amazing. But we don't have time for that today. So come tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, we'll discuss that subject. Because it's integral to the glories of Vrindavan. But Srila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami Pad says, Parakiya bhavi ati rasera ulas, there is such a overflowing and excessive joy in this parakya mood, this unwedded love of Radha and Krishna and gopis. So, but Braja Bina Ihara and Yakta Nahivas, it's not found anywhere except for in Braja. Now someone will may make the argument that, oh, this Braj here in this world, that's Gokul, and the spiritual world is Golok. And so, God is there, and He knows He's God, but He comes here, and then He does a pastime like a human being, and He has this Parakya Ras Lila here, but then in the end, it's shown to be an illusion. And then Radha Krishna get married, and then they return to their original station. So this idea is there, that the Parakya mood is only just a drama that takes place here, but the Nitya Sthiti, that means the eternal situation, is a Golok. So many people think this, many people. Even many persons claiming to be Gaudiya also, they have this idea that Parakya is only in the Lila here for some time, and then Yogamaya reveals that it was all her trick, and then Radha Krishna get married, and then they go to the spiritual world, and they're there, and that's the eternal situation there. And it is not without cause that some persons believe this, because Srila Jiva Goswami has written some things giving this idea also for certain persons who have that eligibility, and also to protect the Sampradaya, because in those times, 500 years ago, India was a very conservative place, and because the Parakya mood can easily be mistaken by fools to be something adharmic, when in fact it's the topmost purity. And they may try to imitate it in some way. So kings, they may try to censure, to do censorship of the propagation of the idea of the Parakya mood. So Jiva Goswami has written something there. So if any king knocks on the door, hey, what's going on here? Is this a Gaudiya establishment? Are you teaching this Parakya Rasa? Oh yeah, read this book actually. And then the evidence can be given. Look, we are Radha Krishna married. It's written right here in our Shastra. So it was more like to give some protection from the Sampradaya, from the censorship of the extremely conservative governments and kings at that time, in case there was some misunderstanding. And often misunderstanding arises because the truth, like Krishna, is very crooked, and it's not very straightforward to understand. So, one may raise this idea that, yes, Parakya Bhave Ati Rasa Ulas, Braja Bina Ihara Anyata Nahivas, it's true. I know there's a higher ras in this unwedded love of Radha Krishna, but that's only in Braj, here. This is Braj here, and this is Gokul, and that's Golok there, it's not there. So to counter this, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad says, Astavinsa Chatra Yuge, Dwapare Rasheshe, Brajera Sahiti Hoi Krishna Pakashe. Don't think that Braj is here and Golok is there. There in the center, in the Antarmandal, the secret dimension of that Golok, there is Braja there also. So Astavinsa Chatra Yuge, Dwapara Sheshe, at the end of the Dwapara Yuga, in the 28th cycle of the 4 Yugas, during the reign of the 7th Manu, Vaivasvata Manu, then Brajera Sahite Hoi Krishna Prakash. Krishna manifests here along with his Braja. In other words, Braj is not here, and he comes from there. His transcendental Braj, he comes along with his transcendental Braja. And therefore, this Parakya Lila is a Nitya Lila of Sri Krishna. So these verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita are extremely important to establish the Gaudiya Siddhanta. And that is, it is not that Srila Jiva Goswami was against this, but he has written something to protect the Sampradaya, and this is really Srila Jiva Goswami's inner mood. More discussion about that tomorrow. So that Braja is glorified throughout Srimad Bhagavatam. When Sri Krishna went to Mathura and he fought with the elephant Kupalapida and killed him and his handler, and he entered into the wrestling arena carrying a tusk on his shoulder, covered in perspiration, drops of blood from the fighting. Then the young girls of Mathura who were in the audience in that stadium, looking at Krishna, entering into the arena, they were amazed by his beauty. And they said, Punya bata brajabhuvo yadayam rilinga gudha purana purushambana chitramalya gapalayan sahabala koniyam stavenam vikridayan tri garindranama chitangrihi. Oh, Punya bata brajabhuvo. Brajabhumi is punya, very glorious. Why? Yadayam rilinga gudha purana purusha. The Purana Purush, that is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the oldest of everyone, the origin of everything. Gudha, he is playing secretly, Nrilinga, like a human being. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the origin of everyone, he's playing just like a human being in Brajabhumi. What is he doing? Balachitramalya, he's decorated with a beautiful garland of forest flowers. And he's walking barefoot. Even the demigods, when they come to this world, their feet don't touch the ground. And kings and others, they have chariots and shoes. But the Supreme Lord, who's beyond all the demigods, he's walking barefoot in the forest of Vrindavan. And doing what? Being worshipped by all the rishis? No, Gapalayan. He's taking care of cows. He's taking his father's cows into the forest to graze, along with his friend Sahabala, with Balaram and the other boys, Koniyams Chobenu, and he's playing on a bamboo flute. Vikridayantachi Garindra Ramachitangri. Even though Rama, Lakshmi Devi, Garitra and Lord Shiva, the great devatas, they worship his lotus feet, but he's playing joyfully in a state of forgetfulness in Vrindavan. Because there is the ananda, there is the joy of praying, the joy of love. So it's so beautiful what the Mathuramanis, the young princesses from the royal family in Mathura, are saying. Because they say, Vikrida entity, he is playing in Braja. Someone can say, why are you saying that? You're speaking in the present tense, because you're looking at him right in front of you now, as he enters into the arena. So the meaning is that they had association with the fruit sellers and with beetle sellers, with wives of the Yajnik Brahmanas who sometimes go from Mathura to the borders of Vrindavan and speak with the Brajvasis. And if anyone will hear Harikatha from persons who have seen Krishna, then what will happen? The lobe, strong greed will come in the heart. I also want to see Krishna. So by that sadhu sangha, then those beautiful princesses of Mathura, though Krishna was standing in front of them, they were more concerned with seeing Krishna in his full beauty in their hearts. And even though it appears that he's in front of us, but he's eternally there. He's still there in Vrindavan. He's still taking the cows to graze. He's still playing his flute, and by that calling the Braja Gopis. Here in Mathura, he has a stern look on his face. Because he's here on business. Yada yada hidamasya glanir bhavati bharatar bhutanam vadamasya tadatmanam sudamyaham. God comes to this world whenever religion is right, and he comes and kills the demons and establishes religion. But there in Vrindavan, he has no business. He has nothing to do. He's completely spoiled. He doesn't even have to take the cows to graze. His father's a king. He's got thousands of servants. He just takes the cows to graze because he can get out of the house beyond the watchful eye of his mother and father and other seniors and secretly meet with Radhika and the gopis. So, just like if you see a lion in a cage, it's not so beautiful as if you see a lion in the jungle, where in his home where he's free. So in the same way, they're saying, Punya Bhakta, Braj is glorious, Braj is pious, not this Mathura. This Mathura is not good, they're saying. Why? Because here he's on business and everyone's trying to kill him. And there in Vrindavan, he's so happy, wandering here and there like a playful lion. and enjoying his loving pastimes freely in the forests of Vrindavan. So this fire on this place, Mathura, Punya Bata Brajabhuvo, all glories to Brajabhumi. Braja, what does Braja mean? Braja, Brajati, Gatstati, means moving. In Braj, everyone is moving. So Krishna wakes up in the Nikunj, on the bank of Jamuna, and then see, oh, the sun is coming. He has to say goodbyes to Radhika. It's very difficult to separate in the morning. This bittersweet moment of waking up but having to quickly run and hide in their homes. This is what Mangalati is all about. Please come to Mangalati. Don't miss this bittersweet nectar of Radha Krishna's morning pastimes. And then Radhika has to go to Yavat, and Sri Krishna has to quickly go to Nandagaon. He'll take rest a little bit, then he'll get up, take breakfast, and then he goes out again, goes out to Govardhan with his cows, and he's wandering and playing there with his friends, and from there he'll leave them behind and meet with Radhika and Radhakund, like this, everyone. Moving, moving, moving. So Braja means Brajati Gatstati. This Lila is always in the flow. And this Braj is also called Ghosh. Ghosh means cowherd village. And Ghosh means sound. It's a loud place. If you go there, all the cows are humba, humba. That's sound. Humba is a Sanskrit for moo. The cows are calling, the bulls are fighting, the Brahmanas are chanting mantras and doing yagyas. Nanda Maharaj is engaging them doing yagyas for the happiness of his son. Or the ladies are gurdada, gurdada, churning the butter, and the churning rod is moving through the thick butter gurdada like a mridanga beats. And their bangles are jingling like cartels, and they're singing Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Or Sakas are calling, hey, Madhumangal, hey, Subal, Sridham, Dham, Vasudham, Arjun, Labangas, Dog Krishna, come on, bring a bucket for milking the cows. They're shouting, calling. Oh, some are playing flutes and blowing their bugles. So there's always so much sound in it. So it is called Ghosh. Vrindavan means Brinda, also means Samuha, the group. The place where the whole group, all moving and non-moving living entities, are nourished by brain, nourished by love. That is called Vrindavan. Vrindavan is such a place. Radhika, at every moment, if you want to consider what is the essence of Vrindavan, Radhika at every moment is fully loving, serving and surrendered to Sri Krishna for his happiness at every moment. Sri Krishna is fully loving and surrendered at every moment to please Srimati Radhika. All the Sakhis, Lalita, Vishaka, Chitta, Champakalata, Induleka, Tonavita, Rangadevi, Sudedi, Rupamanjari, Manjari, all the Sakhis, they're fully surrendered and fully loving to please Radha and Krishna. And Vrindavan Dham itself, the whole of Vrindavan, every tree, every creeper, every bird, every stone, is fully absorbed in love and surrendered to the service and to give happiness to Radha, Krishna and the Sakhis all together. This is Vrindavan. So Vrindavan means also Brin dhatu, the verbal root Brin in Sanskrit means to choose. So only those persons who are chosen by Radhika, they can attain residence in that divine realm. So it is called Vrindavan. Satyam Satyam Puna Satyam Satyameva Puna Puna Bina Radha Prasadena Mat Prasadam Navidyate. See, Krishna has said, I make a vow, I make a vow. It's true, I say it again and again, and again and again I say it. Without the mercy of Radhika, no one can attain my mercy. So without Radhika's mercy, no one can attain that Vrindavan. So it's Vrindavan, Vrindhatu, who is chosen by Radhika can live there. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami describes how, Sri Krishna, he took his birth and had his babyhood pastimes in Gokul, on the other side, on the eastern side of the Jamuna. But because of so many disturbances, Putana, Shakatasur, Phonasur, so many demons always disturb the pastimes of Krishna. So then the Brijvasis, they had a meeting and they decided that they would leave Gokul and they would cross the Jamuna and come to Vrindavan. So they packed everything on their bullock carts and they made some bridges and boats and they crossed the Jamuna and then they arrived in Vrindavan. Krishna and Balaram were very small, sitting on the bullock cart with Yashoda and Rohini. And Krishna's like, oh, what is that? Who's that person with the big beard? Lila, that's a banyan tree. Krishna's pointing his finger, looking here, and his mother is asking questions. His mother is telling him all the new things he's discovering. So Vrindavanam Govardhanam Yamuna Pulinani Cha Viksha Siddhutama Priti Rama Madhavayo Nripa. Shukadeva Goswami said, when Rama Madhavayo, when Krishna and Balaram first arrived in Vrindavan, then Viksha Siddh Uttama Priti, they felt Uttam Priti, supremely overjoyed, seeing Vrindavan, Govardhan, and the banks of Jamuna. This Vrindavan Dham, even today, is very powerful and important to us. Why? Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad, he said in Amrita that when Gopkumar went beyond all the planets of this world, through all the planets of Vaikuntha, and he went even all the way up to Dwarka, so he doesn't have very far now to go to his destination. But he was not progressing. So Uddhav advised him, go back to earthly Vrindavan. Tatraivad padyate dhainyam tat premapi sadasadham tat tatshunyam ivaranyam surigyirad pasyatam. He said, when a person goes to Vrindavan, during the Aprakat Lila, when Krishna is not manifest there, then what does he see? The forests, the hills, the rivers, the lakes. And he wanders around, but no Krishna. No Radhika. And it's very painful. Hey Radhe Braja Devi Ke Chalalite Hey Nanda Suno Kuta Shivo Vardhana Kalpar Patale Kalindipanye Kuta Koshanta Viti Sarvato Brajpure Ke Dharmaha Vivalo Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghujugo Sri Jiva Gopalako. Our six Goswamis, in great anxiety, they wandered sometimes on the bank of Jamuna, sometimes at the foot of Giriraj Govardhan, and crying, Hey Radhe Brata Devike, Oh Radhika, Queen of Vrindavan, where are you? Hey Nanda Suno, Oh son of Nanda Maharaj, Oh Lalita Sakhi, where are you? And wandering here and there and seeing Iva Shunyam, Shunya, the place is devoid of the joy, of the laughter, of the sound of the ankle bells, of the sound of the flute, of the sound of Radhika's veena. And it causes extreme dainya, humility. And dainya is the cause of prem, and prem is the cause of dainya. They are related to each other, paraspara, mutually they are related to each other. as karya and karan, cause and effect. So Uddhav told Gopkumar, you should go to the earthly Vrindavan, and wandering there, you feel such separation and such humility that the humility will cause a surge in bhakti, and you will attain all your perfection, your siddhi there. So we see that even though we gave Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as an example of a person, he went to Gaya and said, oh, now my Tirtha Yatra is successful because I have your association, Srila Ishwar Puri. But when Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan, he didn't go to Vrindavan under the shelter of his guru. He went alone. Well, he had a servant, Balabhadra Bhattacharya, but he was keeping kind of out of the way, just serving him at a distance. So why did Mahaprabhu do that? Why? Because Mahaprabhu was in a different stage in his life. He had already attained prema. He had already attained prema by the blessing of his Gurudev. He had associated with Ramananda Rai. He had been in Puri, he had been in Gambhira, and relishing so much. And so now, coming into the Dham, then because he had already attained his perfection, so the Stan Prabhav, the power, the nectar of each place was manifesting to him everywhere he went. All the trees were coming alive, embracing him. All the birds were singing, the deer were approaching him. As if meeting with an old friend when Mahaprabhu was wandering through the forests of Vrindavan. It was a very extraordinary Lila. So we're indebted to Mahaprabhu. Prema nama bhutata savanapata kata kasanana mahina koveita kasya Vrindavan vipina maha madurishu praveshaha kova jana tiradham paramarasam chamakar madurasimam ekas chaitanya chandraha paramakuruneha sarvamavischakaraha. No one knew the power of the holy name and what kind of prema it gives. No one knew what is the madhuri, the sweetness of Vrindavan, and how Radhika's prema is the ultimate limit of all rasa. No one knew. But Mahaprabhu, he discovered Vrindavan, because most of the holy places had been lost. Shalmakund, Radhakund were lost. He personally discovered them. So Mahaprabhu revealed Vrindavan, he revealed the beauty of the holy name, and he revealed the sweetness of Vrindavan and its highest glory. Varasaniwaliki Vrishabhananandi. In Brahma Samhita, now we are discussing Gokul and Golok. If a person will worship Radha and Krishna, many persons are worshipping Radha and Krishna. Will they go to Braj or not? If they are serving in Vaidhi Bhakti, then the destination will be Golok, the Vaibhav Prakash, the outer portion of the planet. This is why we're discussing what is the Vrindavan Dham. Because that inner, the Antar Mandal, where there is this Parakiya mood and pure Kevala Madhurya, that is only accessible by Raganuga Bhakti. So serving Radha Krishna is beautiful, yes. But if they are served through Vaidhi Bhakti, one will attain Golok. But if one will only by serving in Ragamarg, in Raganuga Bhakti, then a person can attain Braja and the Parakiya Rasa. Because the married mood is under Maryada, under rules and regulations, as is Vaidhi Bhakti. Whereas the Parakiya mood is beyond all regulations. And so those persons whose heart have transcended the Maryada here, then they can enter into that Lila which transcends Maryada there also. So, but outwardly one should follow all the rules and regulations of Vaidhi Bhakti, except just a few things should be given up. We'll be discussing more about that over this weekend. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy when in South India he found some Brahmins who were reciting some prayers. He asked, what is this? They told him, this is Brahma Samhita. Sriya Kantaha Kantaha Paramapurusha Kalpataravo Drumabhumis Chintamani Gayamayin Toyam Amritam Kathaganam Natyam Gamanam Abhubansi Priyasaki Chidanandam Jyoti Param Api Tadasadyam Apicha Sriya Kantaha Kantaha. There is one Purush, that is Krishna. He is supreme enjoyer. And he is being served by many, many Lakshmi Devis, goddesses of fortune. Braj Gopis. Kalpatarava. All the trees there are Kalpavriksha. On the way here I was seeing so many Kalpavrikshas, so many trees with all shining with jewels. This is why people are captivated by these magical trees. If you ask them, then you look, you see that whatever you want is underneath the tree. Because this is the nature of the spiritual world, Kalpavriksha. All the trees, what to speak of the trees, even the small shrubs and herbs, they can fulfill all desires. But everyone is so overwhelmed with praying there, they atmaram, they never ask the trees for anything. They could ask the tree, oh, can you give me a garland? I'm going to garland with a tree. But they spend time picking the flowers and then threading the garlands. Why? Because prayer is there. The Madhurya is covering the Aishwarya of the place. Katha Ganam Natyam Gamanam. All speaking is like song, and every movement is like a dance. What is the Dhwani? What does it mean? It means that when you sing, when you are joyful, singing and dancing, they're anubhavs. When you feel joy in your heart, then you want to sing, then you want to dance. So here Katha Ganam Natyam Gamanam, every word is a song, every movement is a dance, means because that place everyone is absorbed in praying, the praying is making them sing and the praying is making them dance. They're the anubhavs. These are the ingredients of rasa, the reactions to the emotional ecstasies of this place. But here I'm coming to the point. Chidanandam Jyoti. This Braja is a Chidanandam Jyoti. It is a light. It is the light of Chidananda. Chit Ananda, that means Samvit and Ladini, praying. In other words, as we were discussing before, Geha, Griha, Deha, Twit, Prabhava. The Da means twit, effulgence. So the effulgence, the aura of Radha and Krishna, this is the Dha. It is the manifestation of their praying. So in Brajabhasa it is said, Shakti Priya Aladini Priya Ananda Surup Tan Vrindavana Jagamahe Icha Sakyanup. Radhika is the embodiment of Ladini Shakti, the pleasure potency of the Supreme Lord. See, Krishna is Paramananda, the embodiment of all Ananda, the object of her love. Tan Vrindavana Jagamahe. And the sparkling, the glittering, the shimmering light emanating from the bodies of Radha Krishna, that is Vrindavan. Therefore in Brahma Siddhi he said, Chidanandam Jyoti. This Dham is the Chidananda Jyoti. It is the fully conscious, fully joyful light emanating from Radha and Krishna. Icha Sakyanup. Tan Vrindavana Jagamahi. The shimmering emanating from the bodies of Radha Krishna. This is Vrindavan, Icha Sakyanup. And who are the Sakis? Radhika's Icha, her desires. In her mind, she has so many ideas and conflicting opinions, and they manifest. Oh, should I argue with Krishna, or should I be nice to him? So the mood to argue comes up. Lila Saki. Should I be kind to him? Comes up. Tonga Vidya, like this. So each one of the Sakis, they are the embodiments. They are the murtis of Radhika's manovritis. So I'm telling all this tattva, so that when you hear Lila, it will have a throne. To say Siddhanta is like making a throne. Then you invite the Harikatha to come and sit on that throne. Because if a person doesn't understand tattva, when they hear the pastimes of Radha Krishna, they'll take it like some romance, like some soap opera or something. like some artistic drama of this world. So first one should hear and have some realization internally. What is this very rare and beautiful supreme abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Then forget everything. Forget that. Forget that Krishna is God. And then hear the beautiful pastimes. Now, this Vrindavan, there are three perspectives. Three ways in which we can see Vrindavan. First, Dham Vrindavan. Then, Sakhi Vrindavan. Then, Swarup Vrindavan. So we won't have time this evening to discuss all three, but we'll begin. We'll start this evening with the first one, Dham Vrindavan. Dham Vrindavan means that how is Vrindavan Dham serving Radha and Krishna? Raghunath Das Goswami said, Yat kinchit trinagulma kikti mukam goste samastamitat sarvananda mayam mukunda daitam lila nukulam param Shastra eva muhu muhu sputamidam nishtankitam yatsya Brahma dera visasprihima taridam sarvam maya bandite. I bow down to every tree, every blade of grass, every creeper, every flower, every insect, every stone in this Vrindavan, I bow down. Because all are Anandamaya, made of Ananda. And Mukunda Dayatam Lila Nukulam Param, very dear to Krishna. And they're all serving in a favorable way to Sri Radha and Krishna. The Shastras have told again and again that great persons like Uddhav, Asamaho Chararenu Dushamahamsam Vrindavan Ekimami Gulma Lataushadhiman. Great associates, eternal associates like Uddhav, associate of Dwarka and Mathura. He prays to become a blade of grass in Vrindavan. Tad buri bhagami janma kimabhyatabyam yad gokulepi katamangre rajo vishekam. Lord Brahma, Adi Guru of our Sampradaya, first being in this universe, the creator. He is prayed to just become, I will be lucky in a future life if I could become a stone in this Vrindavan. It is such a place. So that Vrindavan, everywhere there is Udipana stimulating. Udipana means that which deep means a lamp or a flame, like when you offer arti. Not these deeps. The key wicks that you light. This is called the deep. So Udipana, Ud means up, to inflame. That which inflames brain is called Udipana. So this entire Dham of Vrindavan is Udipana. This is Dham Vrindavan. Everywhere, inflaming the love of Radha and Krishna. One morning, Lalita Sakhi, she has decorated Radhika. Radhika is walking with her Sakhis on the bank of Manasi Ganga. Going there, walking there at Govardhan. Radhika is decorated from head to toe. The vesh of Radhika, all of her ornaments from head to toe, Damadara, to increase the love of Sri Krishna. She has a Sola Shringar, 16 types of cosmetics, from the sindoor in her hair, her tilak, kasturi, kumkum, chandan on her body, outer lac on her feet, her lipstick, kajal on her eyes, 16 types of cosmetics, Dwadash Abharan, 12 types of ornaments, finger rings, bracelets, armlets, necklaces, earrings, nose ring here, and chain going to her ear, some ornament on the top of the ear, ankle bells, waist bells. So every part of Radhika's body is decorated from head to toe so beautifully. And Lalita, Vishaka and others, they also look very beautiful as they're walking gracefully like swans. All their ornaments and ankle bells are jingling. And they're carrying on their head some ghee in golden pots to offer to the rishis who are doing the yagya at Govinda Kund. At that time, all the Sakhis, they appear to be like a rainbow on earth because they're dressed in all so many different colored silken cloths. And as they pass the Manasi Ganga, the vista, the panorama of Govardhan is so beautiful. Sri Radhika said, oh Lalita, oh Sakhi, look, look at the beauty, this panorama of Vrindavan. At that time she's looking, and Radhika looks down. Now the dust of Vrindavan is doing seva. How? Vrindavanam sakhi bhavo vitanoti kirtan ya devaki sutta padambuja labda lakshmi. Sakhi, look, there are the footprints of Krishna. Marked with, very clearly visible, are the auspicious lines on Sri Krishna's lotus feet. The lotus flower, the flag, the ankush, the elephant goat, and other symbols are there in the footprints. And Radhika says, no, this Vrindavan is making the whole world glorious, because this Vrindavan is decorated with the footprints of Sri Krishna. In this way, remembering the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, Radhika becomes overwhelmed with praying, because her desire, her remembrance is that the lotus feet of Krishna make a footprint on her heart. In the kumkum, it's made on her heart. As Radhika is walking, thinking of Krishna, she sees some beautiful creepers. And some of the creepers, where they grow and the buds are coming and the flowers are coming, they're being nipped. And seeing the nipped buds, Radhika, she can understand, oh, these buds are being nipped by the fingernails of Krishna. Then she's telling to her Sakhi, Chuta pravala baha stapakut palabja malama prikta paridana vichittavesho majje virejadva alam pashupala gostam range yata natabaro kochagayama. See, Krishna is decorated with fresh buds and flowers and leaves, or like a dancing actor on a stage as he's playing, singing and dancing along with his brother and surrounded by his friends. Radhika is saying this. But why is she saying Krishna is decorated with his hair with so many flower buds? Why? Because the Uddipana of Vrindavan, seeing the buds nipped by the nail of Sri Krishna. And she thinks, she's not saying, she's saying Krishna is decorated with the buds and dancing with his friends. It's all Abhahitava, hiding her real mood, because she thinks, oh, these buds are so fortunate because they've been marked by the fingernails of Sri Krishna. As they're walking, oh, learning to see some birds are sitting. Usually the birds are fluttering everywhere. Prayo batamba vihagamunayo vanesnin Krishnexitam tariditam kalavenu gita maruya ye Druma Bhaja, Ruchira Pramalam, Shinvanti Milita Risho, Vigatanya Vaja. Hey Sakhi? All the Sakhis are walking along, carrying their pots, their ankle bells are jingling, all their ornaments are jingling, and their brain is being stimulated from all sides by the beauty of Vrindavan. Vrindavan is doing seva. Vrindavan Dham is Uddipana. Oh Sakhi, look at these birds. I think they must be great rishis. Because when they hear the sound of Sri Krishna's flute, first they're chirping, saying Jai Krishna, Jai Krishna. And then they sit down and they begin with half-closed eyes, and they meditate and they relish the sweetness of Krishna's flute playing. And they go in samadhi, and they don't want to come out. They're still in samadhi now. Gradually, the Sakhis are walking along. Radhika is thinking, now we're very far away from the village, no one is around here. If Krishna were to come and harass us, accost us, here in this place, it would be amazing. And that's why she's wandering around. Why are gopis going here and there? Actually, very often in Shastra you see Vikray. Vikray means selling. And so many people say, oh, the gopis are wandering here and there, selling butter, selling yogurt. So, what? This is complete rasabas. Don't believe this. Why would Radharani go to the marketplace to sell butter? She's a princess. Her family has so much wealth. Nanda Maharaj has 900,000 cows. Her father, Vrishabhanu Maharaj, has 1100,000 cows. He has more cows than Nanda Maharaj. So she's a princess. She doesn't need to go and do Vikray business, selling milk and yogurt and ghee, milk products. Here, when you see Vikray in the Shastra selling, it actually means exchanging. She exchanges the milk products for blessings. Because when the rishis perform yagyas, if anyone will bring some ghee for these yagyas, then the rishis will bless them, that all their desires will be fulfilled. So Radhika is not going Vikray for selling, she's going for exchanging the ghee that she has personally prepared herself and personally carried herself, exchanging for blessings that all her desires will be fulfilled. And what are her desires? You can guess. So it is not sell, they don't sell milk products. They do exchange for blessings from the rishis only. So she goes out only on a pretext, hoping that Krishna will come accost them and harass them somehow or other. But she cannot say that outwardly because this is the nature of Braja. All the feelings are avahitavav, everything is hidden inside. So inwardly she's thinking, it would be so amazing if Krishna would come and attack us right now. But she's walking along as if she's trying to mind her own business. She's looking here and there. Osaki, watch out for that dangerous boy. She's thinking, though I always worship Surya Dev, the sun god, but my eyes have never seen Krishna. Where does the power to see come from? Surya Dev. Surya Dev gives the power to see. So Radhika is worshipping Surya Dev and say, but though I always worship him, I have never seen or worshipped sun god for the power to see. But what's the use of eyes if you don't see akshanvatam phalamidam naparam vidama sakya pasun anu vivesayato vayasya vaktam brajesha sutayor anu venu dushtam yavani pitam anurakta kataksha moksham. Radhika said, of all the living entities who have eyes, the fruit of having eyes is just seeing. See Krishna as he's playing his flute and going into the forest surrounded by his friends, and how he's playing the flute and lovingly casting his kataksh, his sidelong glance towards his friends. But I am so unfortunate. I have never seen Krishna. If someone has eyes but they don't see Krishna, it would be better for that person to be blind. Yavani pitam anurakta katakshar moksham. Nipit, she does not say see Krishna, she says drink Krishna through the eyes. So nipitam means drinking. So it indicates by upalakshan, that means by association, not only drinking Krishna through the eyes, but drinking Krishna's nectar, the sound of his words through the ears, drinking the coolness of Krishna's touch through the Sriyanga, drinking the nectar of Krishna's fragrance, drinking with all five senses, all the sweetness and beauty of Sri Krishna. If a person does not hear Sri Krishna's sweet voice and sweet flute singing, then it's better to be deaf. Radhika is criticizing herself like this. And so Vrinda Devi said, what is this? You always meet with Krishna. Day and night you're meeting with Krishna. But you're lamenting that you have never seen him. This is astonishing. Why? Because this is the nature of praying. It's not only anurag. That anurag makes Krishna newer and newer every moment. But the nature of Mahabhav. Mahadyabhave pyatnadi sarvam visvaranam sada. It causes a forgetfulness. Mahabhav causes a forgetfulness. So then Radhika becomes desperate. I've never seen him in my life. Gradually, Radhika was walking and she saw the trees are blossoming and the lotus flowers are blooming in the lakes. Gopya kimatra dayam kushalam saveno damodaradra sudam api gopikhanam bunte swayam yavada sista rasam hradinyo Look at these trees. They're so happy. They're crying tears of honey dripping from their branches. And the rivers also and lakes are overjoyed because the flowers are blossoming there. It must be because they're very proud of their descendant. You know, if there's a mother and father and their son does well, becomes a success, then they cry tears of happiness. They become overjoyed. So Radhika is thinking that the mother, the lake, is the mother of bamboo, because the bamboo is taking through the roots the water from the river. So lake is like mother, because she's feeding him. And the trees, they're the family members. They're in the same dynasty as the bamboo tree. So they're overjoyed. So the mothers and fathers of the bamboo were so happy because their son's life became a success. You became a Venu. You were cut and now you're always in the hand of Krishna, underneath Krishna's pillow at night. Always tucked in the turban of Krishna or in the belt of Krishna. Or now, and they hear the sound of Krishna playing his flute on the top of Govardhan. Now, this flute is drinking the nectar of Krishna's lips. How fortunate he is. Look, all the family members are celebrating, very, very proud of their descendants. Yatarya. Oh, Radhika begins to cry. I should give up this life and I should take birth as bamboo. What austerities did this bamboo perform in a previous life to have this good fortune? If I knew, I would do those vrats, I would visit the holy places, do the tapasya and fasting and yagyas that this bamboo has done in a previous life, only to get that place in the hands of Krishna and drink the nectar of his lips. This is the Braja Bhav. It cannot be attained by any kind of Vaidhi Bhakti. In this world, people think about love. What is love? The highest thing they can think of is sacrifice, self-sacrifice. You give your life, you give your time, you give your energy. Even you can die for someone. And that's as far as love can go. Like what you have, you just give that. But actually, the transcendental love, which is a Samvita Nadini, Krishna's internal pleasure potency, is such a love. This praying is such a thing. It is beyond any conception of this world. Within this, such emotions appear. So as Krishna, Gopi saw that Krishna was playing the flute on the top of Govardhan, and Krishna saw the Braja Gopis in the distance. So then Krishna, he stopped playing, and Radharani was thinking, oh, now my time has come. I was hoping for this. I was hoping that he would come and harass us. This is why we were coming this way. And she sees Krishna coming down from the top of Govardhan, approaching them. When Radhika finally, she looks and sees Krishna, she says, oh, Lalita. She turns away from Krishna and speaks to Lalita Sakhi. Oh, all the eyes of young women of Braja, they're like bumblebees. And see, Krishna is like a Nil Utpal. That means a blue lotus flower. So just as the bumblebees always naturally, they cannot check themselves, they fly and they taste the nectar coming from the Nilutpal, from the blue lotus. So in the same way, the eyes of Braj Gopis are always drinking the nectar of the beauty of Krishna. Actually, the bumblebee is attracted by the fragrance of the Nilutpal. So it indicates that the eye is attracted by his beauty, but Gopis' hearts are also captured by Sri Krishna's fragrance. Radhika said, oh, now Krishna's coming. What should we do? He's like in his pastimes, he's like a mad elephant, an intoxicated elephant who devours my patience. So you see, if there's a big elephant who's intoxicated and he wants to eat something, then who will stop him? No one can stop him. So Radhika said, Krishna is like that. This elephant is devouring my patience. The inner mood here is that there is no dosh in me. I have no dosh. All the dosh is that means fault. There's no fault in me. Everything is with him. The bumblebees cannot help it. It is the blue lotus which is attracting them. If anything is eaten by an elephant, no, who can stop it? So Radhika is expressing that upon seeing Krishna, though she's trying to maintain her patience, trying to maintain her shyness and her dharma, but, oh, it's being completely devoured and everyone is helpless to stop him. So this is not my fault. As Krishna is coming down, he sees that Radhika is seeing him, but turning away and speaking in the ear of her Sakhi Lalita. So Krishna's looking at this, and he sees, how beautiful is Radhika. But suddenly her mood has changed. What could be the cause? Krishna also, I am not at fault. Both think they are not at fault. Krishna thinks, look, Radhika has very beautiful necklace of jewels on her chest. She has beautiful jeweled ornaments on her hair, on her veiling. That means that let's say three guests come to your house. One foolish person, one little boy, and a great scholar. So if the foolish person, the three people come, and you honor the foolish person and give them a garland of jewels, and you honor the boy and give a garland of jewels, but the scholar, the great Vedic scholar, you just smear something black on him, like this, then he'll become upset. If you disrespect the third person. So in the same way, Krishna is thinking, oh look, Radhika's breasts are stool. That means very heavy and very firm. But stool also means jad, foolish. But she has honored her breasts by giving a necklace of jewels. She had honored her bow, hair. Bow means hair, but bow also means little boy. And she's honored her bow, her hair, with the Shiramani, a crest jewel here. But her eyes, she has given black kajal. And so now the eyes have become upset because they should be respected. Because they are the Shruti Seving. Shruti Seving means those who study the Vedas, Shruti Seving. Or Shruti Seving means her eyes are serving her ears. In other words, that when she sees Krishna coming, she's trying to look away, and her lotus eyes are so big and long, and when she narrows them with suspicion, you know when someone's suspicious? Like this? She narrows her eyes with suspicion that Krishna's coming, and turns away, but can't help but look at him. And so, her eyes are doing Shruti Seva, they are serving her ears. So Krishna thought, look, she has given respect to the dull person, she has given respect to the young person, but she has not given respect to the Vedic scholar, the Shruti Sevi. To eyes, she has smeared only black there. And because of this, they become angry and crooked and given up their simplicity. So now, see, Krishna is seeing the Bhamya Bhav, the wave of contrary mood rises up in Srimati Radhika as he's approaching. How is this beautiful poetic imagery appearing in the heart of Krishna? This is the anubhavs of love. Even in this world, when someone falls in love, then it's, how may I compare thee to summer's day? The poetry starts to come out. So it's a reflection. When Sri Krishna is overwhelmed with a wave of love, then his imagination goes wild, and every part of Radhika he begins to describe this, the Utpraksh Alankar, with so many metaphors are spontaneously flowing. Lalita Sakhi says, Oh Radhika, Krishna is descending here. We should leave this place. Quickly, let's go. So Radhika says, yes, let's go. So then Radhika and Lalita and the Sakhis, they quickly want to move from that place. But exactly as they're leaving that place, suddenly stone chips appear in the ground. Brajadam is alive. Brajadam is alive. Why? Actually, they don't want to leave. They want to stay. Radhika came there only as a pretext because she wants to meet with Krishna and be accosted by Krishna. But the nature of prema, Aheri Vagati Premna Svabhava Kutilabra, is like a snake. So she becomes contrary and she wants to make a show of leaving, but she doesn't want to leave. So because Vrindavan Dham is always doing Anukul Seva, as soon as Radhika and the Sakhis turn away from Krishna and start to leave that place, then Vrindavan Dham manifests sharp stone chips on the ground. And so then Radharani is saying, oh, slowly, it's very rough here. So this is how the Dham, Vrindavan Dham is Udipana, stimulating all the prema of Radhika through the creepers, through the nipped flowers, through the dust, through the trees, through the birds, and even the ground is serving Anukul Seva to the Lila. So now they're walking, they're trying to get away, they're making a show of getting away, but they don't want to get away, and the stone chips have appeared to give them an excuse to loiter there. Krishna said, hey, Subal, go with Arjuna and stop them quickly. So then Krishna's friends come around on the path this way and say, stop, what are you doing? You are so arrogant, you want to give respect to the Brahmanas, but you don't want to give respect to this Gatadipati, the tax collector here. Our friend Krishna, you want to neglect him. Gopi said, hey, Subal, leave us alone, don't disturb us. Subal said, no, he is the authority in this place, you should bow down to him. Vishaka Sakhi said, look, we have no problem at all bowing down to the Prince of Braj. He is the son of Nanda Maharaj, so why not? He's a respectable person. We should bow down to him, but there's one problem. Today, we're doing a bharat, and a bharat is to participate in this yajna. So, Purnamasi Devi has told us the conditions of a bharat is if you are a brati, a person who has taken a vow, then you should not bow down to anyone except for the brahmanas. So ordinarily we don't mind, but today in this place, in this time, in these circumstances, no, we're going. Now, what is Vishaka doing? Actually, they love Krishna very much. And they want Krishna to become aggressive and to harass them more. But maybe Krishna is a little bit reluctant or a little shy. So Vishaka Sakhi, by disrespecting him and making up an excuse, no, we're not going to bow down to you, sorry, we can't do it today. She's deliberately provoking him to become more aggressive. Deliberately. So everything Braj Gopis are doing is completely crooked. What they are saying and what they really want is completely the opposite. This is the nature of prema. Prema nadiya ki sada ulti bahida kon pawe jako paha. Prema nadiya ki sada ulti bahida. The river of love, all rivers flow from up to down, but the river of love is in reverse. It flows from down to up. Those who are very humble, their prema flows up. So prema makes everything in reverse. The Dara means a current. So the current of the river of prema, everything is in reverse. And that's why her name is Radha. Because if you have the word Dara, current, and you reverse it, Dara becomes Radha. Because she's the current of prema where everything is in reverse. Radha. So then, Arjuna said, no. You should bow down to Krishna. Why are you saying that he's not eligible for respect on this day? Because he's also a brati. He has also taken a vow. So it's true that if someone taken a vow, they are brati, they should not bow down to anyone. But if a brati will bow down to another brati, then their brat is not violated. It's not compromised. So Krishna has done a brat and you have done a brat, so you should bow down to him. There's no excuse. Lalita was having some doubts. What kind of brat can Krishna do? No? Only persons who are austere, who have self-control, they can do brats. Krishna is lusty, angry, thirsty. He cannot be Atmaram even after 1,000 births. He will never be Atmaram. Self-satisfied and sense-controlled. So Lalita said, yes. You tell us, what brat has this notorious boy done? So then Krishna said, yes, I've taken a very serious brat. I am a Nityam, Abalar Buddha Dvijavasana Dhanam Mahabratam. Abalar Buddha Dvijavasanam Dhanam. That means Dana means to give charity. To whom? Dvija, Brahmanas. And what do you give in charity? Vasanam, cloth. To whom? Abala means poor. Arbuddha means millions. Krishna said, I have taken a vow every day to give in charity cloth to millions of poor Brahmanas. Really? You have to understand. Abala, here means brahmanas, weak, poor brahmanas, but abala means girls. Dvija means brahmanas. Because they're dvija, twice born. They're born from their mother, and then they're initiated by their guru. So they're dvija, twice born. So dvija can also mean birds. Because birds, they're born, first the egg is born, and then they're born from the egg. But dvija has another meaning, teeth. Right? Because when you're a baby, your teeth come, and then they fall out, and then some more teeth come. So teeth are also called dvija. Basana means a covering. It's close, it's a covering. So dvija basana means what covers your teeth. That means adhara, lips. So dvija basana dhanam, one meaning is I have made a vow every day to give cloth to millions of poor brahmanas. But here, Krishna, the inner meaning is I have made a vow every day to give a donation of my lips to millions of gopis. When Radhika heard this, then she has a sattvic bhav. This is the nature of Mahabhav, that it causes prakashita. Anuraga sasamvedya dasham prapa prakashita. 5, 6, 7 or even 8 sattvic bhavs, trembling, becoming stunned, hairs standing on end, the voice faltering, the vaivanya, the fading of the complexion, and perspiration. So Radhika began to perspire, and her perspiration was running down her necklace. And then just hanging at her breast, there was the pendant with the jewel on her necklace. And the perspiration ran down her necklace and over the jewel and came to the tip of the jewel, and then stamba. She became stunned. So she's so stunned in ecstasy, hearing the cunning, sweet, beautiful, charming words of Sri Krishna. Her stamba, she's so stunned. Not only is her body stunned, but the droplet of perspiration on the tip of her jewel is not dropping. Because she's so stunned, even that is stunned. So Krishna is struck with wonder, seeing the beauty of Srimati Radhika. So this is called the Uddipana Vrindavan. Dham Vrindavan. Dham Vrindavan is Uddipana. It is the place where the Lilas of Radha Krishna, their meeting, secret meeting Lilas take place, and everywhere the dust of Vrindavan, the creepers of Vrindavan, the trees, the birds, and even when the gopis, they say, we want to leave, we want to get out of here, but actually they want to stay, even the stone chips appear from the ground to slow them down, like this, in this way, this dham. Yatkin chitra kuluma kikati mukam goste samastamita sarvanandamayam mukunda daitam lila anukulam param. Every dust, every chintamani, every stone of Vrindavan is a lila anukul, favorably serving the sweet romantic pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Bale Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai, Varsani Wali ki jai, Jai Jai Sri Radhe. So Vrindavan can be seen in 3 perspectives: Dham Vrindavan, Sakhi Vrindavan, and Swarup Vrindavan. We have discussed something about Dham Vrindavan. Tomorrow we'll continue to discuss Sakhi Vrindavan and Swarup Vrindavan. Hare Krishna. So please come. We'll have the morning arti here at 7 o'clock. Then I'll sit and we'll chant japa together in the morning. There'll be a little break for breakfast. And at 10 o'clock we'll begin bhajans and Harikatha. And tomorrow evening is earlier, right? We start at 5 tomorrow because it's a weekend. So 5 o'clock sharp will begin tomorrow. Hare Krishna.